So you guys, what's up? You know, I've been trying to do this video for like 6 months. And you know, like I said, this is the time for me to really get back on my pivot. You feel what I'm saying? And then lock in. This is the season of actualizing my ideas. And it's just take one of us at the shop. I'm with Sa. We finna get some good questions in, and yeah, man, we finna get into it. Yeah, so my name is Lex. I am from Chicago, but like I said, I would say the burbs, for real, a cool ass kid from the burbs, because I really grew up there and I spent most of my time there. I feel like I'm finally becoming the person that I've always seen myself to be. Like, here we are, we finally stepping into it, and it's just been a journey. Like, I've been trying to do this YouTube, like I said, for 6 months, and really before that, but now it just feels right because I finally feel like I can really get to a space of vulnerability, and I have something to show for it. Like, I have something to show, like, okay, like, this really been the grind, but I'm still in the thick of it. Like, I want to bring y'all in to the point where I didn't make it. Like, I didn't make anything yet. And that's how I feel. Like, I want to take y'all with me on the journey and also be able to document my journey and look back 10 years and be like, damn, Lex, like, you remember when you and Sa was doing this and this and this? And it's like, I know that this is really a documentation for my own keepsake. So yeah, we live, man. Like, YouTube really, I know, is a long form, and we're moving into a space where people want to see more of the authentic journey. And I think with short form, it's easy to just cut and then, like, it's perfect for 30 seconds, 60 seconds. But it's like, what's really happening in the long scheme, the long term? And I knew I wanted to build a space where people could see what's happening. And like I said, I want to be able to give you more of me. And I think I've been trying to struggle with getting me more into the short term or the short form videos, and it's not bringing the most. So I feel like this is a good way for me to really build the brand, and also, like I said, testing myself to be more vulnerable, getting into it a little bit more, especially because I know people are always continuously asking me, like, Lex, like, you know, how are you, or why are you so quiet right now, and just like small things. And it's like, man, I'd be going through so much, and it'd be better for me to just talk about it. So we live, we're here. I've always had the vision. Like, I feel like I've always seen glimpses of my life. Like, I see color. Like, I've always, this is the thing. Okay, let's just go back. I have always had synesthesia without knowing the term. And it's just how I've been operating. I've memorized names, the alphabet, shapes. People just associate with color, even music. And I really honestly didn't know, like I said, there was a term until I created this business and just did something out of what my spirit told me to do. Which is so cool, because it's like, wow, there's actually a whole term for this. And I was making candles when I was at FAMU. I was doing it for myself. I was doing it because I was burning so many candles a day, and I was tired of buying them from the TJ Maxx or wherever. And I'm like, you know, I need to start, you know, making my own candles. And I did, and my roommate loved them. But for me, it was just for myself. It was a moment to recollect, like you said, or really reconnect, because like you said, FAMU journalism was very intense. And I feel like that is the reason why I knew I could build a business. It gave me the confidence to know, like, oh yeah, if I could do this, I'm putting in crazy hours. Like, I know I could do this on my own. And I was actually doing both. Like, I wound up getting, I'll get into that, but I wound up starting the business while still going to school. And I just feel like being around Black people is really what pushed me. And people that were Black, but also people that were driven Black people. You know, like, it was a place where it was excellent. Like, we were all trying to get better. We were all competing, but like a friendly competition. And that's what I'm used to. Like, I played sports, I played basketball growing up. I always kind of needed that, like, friendly, like, okay, you're good, but I'm better. And I like that energy, because it's not like I don't want to see you do well, but we're just kind of, we're going to make each other stronger. Like they say, iron sharpens iron. And I really could feel that energy at FAMU. And that was the first time I knew, like, oh yeah, I could do something with this candle business. 100%. I don't think that I would have been able to see that I don't think that without community, I wouldn't have felt the push or the drive to even go after what I wanted to go after. Because I know how I've been. I went to the University of Iowa. I don't even talk about it. I went there before I went to FAMU, and I was there for 3 years and left with 21 semester hours. So for me, like, I was out there straight bullshitting, like, you know, just sad and really just going through so much like turmoil. And I knew I would never graduate. I knew I wasn't gonna graduate from there. Like, there was no real track. So for me, I didn't have that community. The environment was awful. And I also was dealing with a lot of failed relationships, whether it was romantic or platonic. Like, I just wasn't surrounded by the best of people. I knew I had to get up out of there because I was starting to do things that my spirit didn't agree with. My parents were really open for me to leave, and that really was the turning point for me. Because when I got to Florida, like, being in the sun and having access to just like the freedom to go outside in January, you feel what I'm saying? And like really be outside and connect with myself, I feel like it's essential for Black people. I know we weren't supposed to be in the cold ever. And I felt like I was getting more connected to my roots, and just going through that alone was a whole transformation. And then on top of that, having the community at FAM was like a bonus. So with that energy alone, yeah, I felt I could feel the magic in my life. Like, I finally started to see it. And sometimes it's all about, I know, like, removing yourself and, you know, changing your environment. It's okay to pivot. I felt like I was failing at the time, which is so funny because it's sometimes when you feel like you're failing, you don't even realize, like, man, that's really just the beginning though. Like, sometimes you really need shit to just not work out for you, straight up. And that's where I was at. Like, I was at Iowa, I was failing, I failed so many classes, and my parents didn't even know, like, I was only 21 semester hours in for 3 years, until I straight up had to get real with them. Like, I'm never gonna graduate here. I'm hurting here. And I know in the Black community, you have a little bit of opportunity to go somewhere, you know, you got some money coming in for being there, but whole time I lost all of that. They didn't even know. But you know, having the discernment to pivot, I think, is the most important thing that I will keep. Because even though I was making bad decisions at 18, 19, 20, I'm grateful that my 21-year-old self, the discernment I had 6 years ago, was enough to get me here. So I can't be mad at anything. No loss. Lit by Lex. We live at the Color Block. We got this space in 2022. Inside. Guys, we did it. We in the city, baby. Lit by Lex on the set. Come on, let me show you. Welcome to my crib. Amazing. August, and it took us about 5 months to really get it up and going, to open it into a store. The idea originates from my synesthesia. If you're not aware of what synesthesia is, it's basically when your senses are being channeled through different avenues that would typically not be the case. So like, color is continuously channeling through senses. So when I smell, I see color with that. And when I hear music, I see color with that as well. And I knew that I wanted to incorporate that into the candles, because if I could find a way for people to be present and enjoy that smell, but also invoking the emotion that I'm feeling when I light these candles, I knew that it would bring something different, especially because we're living in such a instant, this, moving so quickly, we don't even enjoy our moments anymore, especially moments for ourselves. And like I said, I'm not the first one to make a candle. Obviously, like, candles are ancient. There's a lot of candle businesses. It's honestly a very saturated avenue to really go into. For me, I knew that the whole difference was bringing the experience and bringing the intention behind every moment. So when you light this candle, you'll light the candle, you'll see the QR code, you scan the QR code, and now you're listening to the sound that I felt when I created the scent. Like, this is all aligning, but it all goes back to the color. So let me kind of, for example, because I feel like I'm a visual teacher. You feel what I'm saying? Let me get right with you. So the blue label Blue Label is the color I felt when I created this scent, right? This scent makes me feel like, man, I'm like, okay, blue. So what do? I start going through different albums that are blue that can resonate to me with this scent. So this one's called Sweetest Taboo. And this one came from me because when I started creating the scent, I'm like, oh yeah, this got me feeling like real blue. Like, okay, then I kind of was feeling like the jazz, and then Sade stumbled upon me and I knew like Sweetest Taboo. So it's really just an intrinsic feeling when I'm creating these candles, and it's just so important that, you know, we don't run away from our experiences, because life is literally about experiencing. It's the most important thing is like taking something from what you're experiencing, taking something from the moment and applying it. So yeah, these candles, man, they've changed my life, not only because obviously like I'm building something, but just to know that I can create something like this from my hands when I grew up not thinking I was creative. That was pretty amazing to me. And I'm still validating my little childhood self, because I grew up with family, my cousins and my brothers were creative. They always did music. I'm not like musically inclined in that capacity. So for me, it was just being channeled in other ways and I didn't realize. So it's just been a journey to see and watch everything kind of, man, expand and grow, because it's tough. Like, it really is. But this being in a physical location, I'm 5 years in business in September. Like they say, most businesses fail within the first 3 years, and I'm pushing 5. Like, and 5 is like unheard of, you know, especially being a black business, a black woman-owned business. It's tough. But I just feel like I'm so rooted in what I'm called to do. It's so above me to where things are gonna work out for me, because I just have to trust it. This idea didn't come to me for no reason. And I'm a firm believer, when ideas come to you and if it keeps calling you, it's going to keep calling you. So I'll also do it. I can't stop now. They're forcing you to be present. It's how many times do you light a candle, you walk off, and then you just light the candle, like that's it. You feel what I'm saying? You did that, and now we're moving on to the next thing. But for me, when you light this candle, first of all, you're gonna notice it's a wooden wick, so that's like whoa, what's going on? And then you light it, and then it's like popping a little bit, and I was like, oh, okay, it's crackling. And then it's like, oh, there's a QR, like let me scan the QR. If you're not familiar, you scan the QR, boom, there's music. So it's like, okay, let me lean in a little bit. And then all of a sudden you're sitting there, and now you're engulfed into this experience that really takes you beyond just burning a candle. Really feeling the rhythm and what I'm feeling when I made this, that's powerful. And I think that scent is the most, they say, most nostalgic thing, nostalgic invoking thing. So when you're choosing that scent, it chose you really. And you really just kind of take that moment for yourself and being present, because being present is the most important thing we could do. And I just feel like this brand I'm building is really leaning into the present instead of running away. And that's a bigger thing we deal with in this busy capitalistic society. But I want you to lean in, and I don't want you to, you know, when it feels uncomfortable, when it feels like you can't sit still, just lean in and listen to the music and vibe out a little bit. And I feel like that's a ritual. You continuously do that every day, and all of a sudden, I mean, the candles truly fill your home. They fill the whole space. It's hard to dismiss. It's with you. So I feel like it's definitely more than just a quick light. You know, it's forever, okay? It's gonna hit you, it's gonna hit you. Once it hits you, it's gonna hit you. I'm just not a quitter. I know for sure I could not, like, knowing myself, like I said, I grew up we played sports, and you already know when you play sports, you grow up with this competitive edge. And I'm really not competing with anyone but myself, but to know that I stopped would be something I couldn't live with. Like, I would rather not be here if I'm just gonna stop. Because I know personally, I've already noticed throughout paths, I've seen it. I've seen multiple times in my life where I really could have stopped. But if I would have stopped there, I don't know where I would have been. If I would have just been down and out at Iowa for 21 hours, could have been a college dropout, which is fine, but like I would have had no direction. Like, fam, you rescued me, damn near. Like, that shit took me in. So for me, in this season, it's like, I mean, I feel like I'm stepping into a season of lighter ease in doing this business. I'm finally finding the rhythm. And honestly, it's really a spiritual thing. Like, growing a business is very spiritual. I feel like people don't recognize the power of entrepreneurship. It's like all faith-based action. Like, I have no idea how things are gonna look today or tomorrow. I never do. We never do. But it's like the intrinsic knowing that I'm on the path I'm supposed to be on, though. So whatever is gonna be for me is on its way. It's already here. I just have to prepare for the opportunity. Wouldn't it say opportunity meets preparation? That's literally all it is. Like, that is the formula to getting anything we want, is preparing. Because you're showing the universe, you're showing God, like, okay, yeah, I'm showing up. I'm ready for I'm ready when you are. That's what it is. And I'm realizing it's all based on me. How do I respond? And it's kind of fun, because it's like, it's not even kind of fun, it is fun, because I'm realizing how magical my everyday life is because of this business. Like, I could straight up be down bad, like have no sales for days, for weeks, have bills to pay. But all of a sudden, like, there's always right on time. There's always an opportunity that comes right on time. There's always something that gives me the strength to keep moving, because it's continuous. But it may not be as quickly as I want things. It may not be in the moment, but it's always right on time. Always. And I feel like when you're committed to what you started, then there is no stop. Like, there's a pause. There's sometimes pause. There's sometimes pausing. There's sometimes moments where, you know, you may need to sit with yourself and it's quiet. I know I've been real quiet with like social media, and I really haven't had the energy to dive into it, because I know that I needed to just reflect and get myself prepared for what's about to come. And I know there's a season for everything, and I'm stepping into a season that is requiring me to be seen, because it's so easy for me to be behind the scenes on what I'm doing. But no, it's time, and I've been listening. I'm just trying to listen, and that's how I keep going, because I know it's not my time to stop. If it was my time to stop, I would know. And I know that not every business is meant to keep going. I know that not every business is meant to make it, but I really feel like what I'm building is something so connected to the spirit, to where it's like, it's no stopping. There's no stopping spirit. You just gotta stay on the path and stay on the course. Gotta see that shit through. Gotta see it through. I don't. Work-life balance. That's not a thing. And it should be. I think it is a thing in entrepreneurship when you make it. When you get to that point where you have multiple people in your business running for you, like you have big systems in place. But I just feel like that's not my season I'm in right now, unfortunately. I am balancing myself more in terms of like doing for me. That's the thing. In terms of the balance, I'm always gonna make sure I'm good. And that may sound bad, but like literally growing a business, if I'm not good, this business won't be good. So what that looks like is like my day-to-day is maybe saying no to a lot of plans, like saying no to certain things. Like if it's popping out with homies, like I can't do it because I know I gotta be up somewhere at 7 a.m. But sometimes it's also the balance of like, you know what, I'm gonna go. You know, like, all right, I'm gonna go. Summertime, Lex, I'm gonna go. But in that winter time, baby, I'm in the house and I'm plotting and I'm hibernating. And I feel like the balance definitely comes in waves. I'm like, how I'm feeling and how the business is doing also reflects my energy. And I'm trying to not be that way, but it's just so hard when I'm so me in the business and it's so tied to me, to where it's like, I can't think about anything if the business isn't doing what it's doing. You know, if it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So I guess I do have some balance here and there, but it's not where I want it to be. It's balancing. You know, the scale's kind of tipping over sometimes, but it's kind of balanced. I don't feel burnt out. I know I've been burnt out before, and this is not where I'm at right now, and I praise God for it.
Are you being honest?
Honest. Scouts honor. Right? I think me not being honest would be like, yeah, oh my God, I'm doing what I want. You know what I mean? Straight up, I think me being around certain people gives me the energy I need. Like, energy giver. You feel what I'm saying? Not an energy taker. Like, I'm really trying to be better being around the people that can fuel me up, where I feel like, oh yeah, I actually feel like I'm charged up for the week now. Like, being around certain people, being around the right people is vital for that reason. Especially when you're building something so big, because it's like, when you got people that are thinking the same way you are, all of a sudden it makes sense now for you. So I really am trying to find that balance, because it was so easy for me to like isolate and be in solitude. And I still do that, but also there's a time to you gotta be with your homies and be around people. And that's actually why, like, even bringing you now to be a part of this space, like, that's huge for me, because like I said, it's really hard for me to be trusting. And it's also hard for me to be around people as much as I'm around you and like not feel like my energy is being affected. That's a big thing. That's huge. That's huge for me. Because it's like, now I could feel like I could be around you and we could also not talk. We've been in here and not talked. And like, that is also just a knowing people, knowing the energy. Like, you're locked in, I'm locked in, but it's love. Like, we still getting the work done. And that is also like an energy giver to me. So I think that I am finding that balance. Like I said, things be kind of, but honestly, I do feel like I am finally good with where things are at right now. It's like, I don't even want to knock on wood. Let me knock on wood. Okay, because you know how God's real funny, you know? I want LITBYLEX to be the biggest home brand. Like, I'm more than just a candle business, and like I haven't been able to show that yet, which is something I'm really excited about. I feel like this is a lifestyle brand, but everything comes in waves. I had to establish, like, they say you gotta hit one thing hard. I'm hitting the candles hard. I'm hitting the candles real hard because I love what I do, and I feel like candles are just vital. But I want us to be able to be the go-to for all aromatics. You feel what I'm saying? Like sprays, incense, car air fresheners. Like, I really see it in so many different ways. Even furniture, like, I would love to like get into design. Like, I know that there's so many things that we could really do with this brand, especially just based off of color and like how much that is important into our day-to-day lives. Like, I really see it going so many different directions under one roof, or under one plan. But yeah, like I want to be the go-to for sure. Like, I want to take Bath and Body Works or whatever, yeah, Bath and Body, I think that's the one that does the candles. We don't even gotta say their name. I wanna take all them big guys out because they're toxic. They're toxic, and I really value, like, I'm living the life that I'm also promoting. Like, I'm living a non-toxic life. Like, I'm really intentional about the things I consume, whether it's on the media, whether it's towards my body, whether it's food, like, or whether it's just, you know, anything. I'm really conscious of that, and I feel like if I'm continuously conscious and living by what I'm preaching and what I'm actively building, it has no choice but to show up authentically. So, and that's the thing about big businesses. They're not, you can't necessarily, like, you don't know the integrity, but I know what I'm building, and I know that none of the formulas are ever gonna change. Like, I know what's happening, and I think that we will take over that space, and we will be accessible. So that's kind of my vision, is to get into as many spaces as possible. Like you said, we have stores in New York, Philly, California, Oklahoma, Denver. So LITBYLEX candles are in different spaces across the country and even across the world. Like, I've shipped to Australia, I've shipped to Puerto Rico, England. Like, that's so raw to me. But I know it's really just like showing me that there's more work to be done, and this is where things can go if I really just keep going. So I want to be the go-to, what they say, aromatics. I like aromatics, sounds kind of cool. You may not, well, you won't be good. You won't always be good at something you're starting, 1. 2, and if you are, you should have started sooner, and that's a great time. But the third one, and this is probably what's gonna take me into most of it, because like I said this earlier, you really just have to see it through. When you start, like, that is the most important thing, but they also don't talk about the consistency. Even showing up when it's tough. Like I said, I've been burnt out, but I didn't give up. And that low-key looks like sometimes maybe getting a job, maybe getting a side hustle, maybe doing this. And it's like, I know I don't want to promote like hustle culture, but just know if you're trying to build something, that hustle is gonna have to be brought out of you regardless. Like, I'm a firm believer, you can't build anything without having some type of drive or some type of hustle. And I think that's what separates the people that create authentic businesses and that they last, or the ones that are just getting it for the money or just for whatever. Like, it's time really does tell with these things. And I feel like if you're gonna start something, just make sure that it's rooted in yourself and rooted in something that you truly can get behind, because if not, it's not gonna last. And that is really scary. Like, what's worse? Starting something and looking like you're failing, or starting something and you're true to it and it means something to you, and you might fail in the process, but at least it's a part of you. At least you're on the right path. At least you're doing something that you know is like you're supposed to be doing. That feels way better. And you might not have no bread that comes with it up front, but that feels better knowing that you're working towards something that you're actually supposed to be doing than just doing something that, you know, you can get some money out of real quick, because that won't take you nowhere. If it's about money, it's not gonna get you anywhere. But also building the right businesses, building things that actually matter. I want people to start building things that they actually care about, because if they do that, now we have a community. Now we got everything we need. We can go shop with so-and-so for this. We can go shop with so-and-so for this. We have options. That's the thing about the Black community. I don't think we have essential options. We need essential business options. That's huge. So yeah, I feel like we're gonna build something. Make sure that you can truly stand on it and get behind it, and you're willing to, like, you know, put your name out there, put yourself on, put everything on the line for it. Because that's really gonna show if you're serious. And if you are, you know, keep going. Because I'll be telling you straight up, there's been several times I've had $0 while running this business. If I'm being honest, $0, especially in the beginning. I heard someone say, like someone wealthy, they were like, yeah, I'm not broke, I'm leveraged broke. And I was like, okay. I said, what does that mean? But then you think about it, it's like, you're gonna build things where like out of nothing, and then you're gonna build things with having something. And it's like, I've had, like I said, $0, but at least I had some leverage to be able to create money out of what I had. That's all I'm saying. Creating opportunities that can sustain you. Even if the money is not coming right now, it'll come. It's always gonna come. And I feel like just creating that leverage, utilizing credit to build a business as well. Like, I feel like financial literacy is something we don't even talk about. And there's just so much free game in that, like knowing how credit works, rinsing it, and making it utilizing debt, because that's what everybody else in this country is doing, is utilizing the debt that we have. Spending money that makes you money, period. Don't spend nothing on nothing if it's not gonna do nothing if it's not an asset. No big purchases. And I can say that's how my entire business has been. That's how I've been able to stay in business. I'm only buying things that can make a profit. That's important. And I feel like as a small business, when you start out, making sure that our money is going towards the things that we're gonna see come back to us. That's the #1 way to stay in business. Nothing else, you don't need it. It feels good to get that first 1K, I know. Make sure you put it back in the business. That's the biggest thing I can say. You gotta spend it to make, straight up. Like, you're gonna have to spend the money. I know it sucks you had to spend the 700 out of the 1,000. But guess what? You gotta keep flipping it until you're to the point where you can actually spend it on yourself. That's just the game. That's just what it is. And I feel like I'm so comfortable with, you know, I'll make a good amount of bread, it'll be gone the next day. You know what I mean? It's okay. Because I know I have the faith it's coming back to me. I can't hold on so tight. When you hold on to things so tight, it's like that's like Taoism. When you hold on to it, it's gonna want to get away from you. But when you don't hold on to anything, you have nothing to lose. What is there to lose? That's it. Okay, y'all. All right. Sober. It's a wrap.